In this video, we unbox some beautiful goodies from our good friend World Money Wins. Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their day. Now today we've got a very unexpected and I can only imagine a beautiful unboxing here from none other than our good friend World Money Wins. We can tell right off the bat WMW can only mean one thing, World Money Wins. So I'm super excited to break open into this expertly packed envelope. Now before we crack open into this, we've got to take a look at how an envelope is supposed to be shipped, because truthfully I never ship anything stamped in envelope, and I really should. I've got a whole big roll of forever stamps for the very purpose of potentially, if USPS tracking shipping gets unsustainably expensive, well, I've got my forever stamps to rely on. So I've kind of padded myself in a way by purchasing those forever stamps, and it looks like World Money Wins has done the same, because that's kind of one of those things where just like kind of gold and silver kind of consistently are on the uptrend, well, even more so, very, very consistently, those forever stamps are consistently going to be on the uptrend. I mean, they never go down, right? They never go down. So that's something that would be a great investment. One could say if we wanted to track that, that may be, I know World Money Wins likes to track very, very meticulously certain types of dollar cost savings, as well as certain ways to really just maximize the efficiency of stacking precious metals. And so when it comes down to saving money in general, he's also very savvy when it comes to that. So it would be interesting. Maybe we could go down a deep rabbit hole to say, hey, how much money could you have saved, or how much money could you have stacked in the form of fixed priced shippable postage? That's a pretty nice hard asset right there, if I say so myself. I don't think there's going to be any shortage of us, at least in the stacking community, of doing trades and sending gifts such as this. This is not really any sort of a trade. This is just a straight up gift. And so I'm already having no idea what the contents of this is. Completely unexpected, like I said. And like I said, before we get into cracking open into the contents of this, I think it's worth spending. Even though we spent already two minutes doing nothing, I think it's worth spending another minute saying, hey, this is an expertly put together stamp and envelope package. Like I said, typically I will put things in a more robust package with tracking. They're typically a little bit bulkier and heavier. It's a little bit of a safer way to ship stuff, but this is the most effective and efficient way as far as cost effectiveness goes. And so while it does not come with tracking, you know, if you're sending to somebody trustworthy such as myself, where they're not going to be yanking your chain or screwing you around, and especially if you're sending something of not a huge dollar value, then stamp envelope is the way to go. But there are some caveats, because you got to do it correctly. Notice here how he says non-machinable, both here on the front as well on the back. That means that this envelope is not to be put into a automated feeder, because what happens if it gets put into an automated feeder? If this happens, it could get crunched up. So non-machinable means no machines, please. Okay. Notice also how he has taped this envelope expertly. We got the stamps here, cool, licked on there and secured perfectly, but every single corner here cannot be ripped, cannot be tampered with, cannot be easily broken into without fully revealing that you're such a piece of crap to have done so. Right? So notice every single corner is meticulously done this, but he's taking care to ensure that there's absolutely no stickiness, nothing that could potentially stick to the machine, stick to other packages, stick to anything, and potentially have this go off to some other place where it's not supposed to go. So this is an example, a very, very nice example of an expertly packed envelope, stamp and envelope shipping. If you're going to be doing something risky like shipping something stamped and envelope, do it like the expert that is World Money Wins. Okay? So since this is tamper-proof, I could not use just my letter opener. I probably still can't use my letter opener. Maybe I can, actually. We'll find out. I certainly can. So there we go. We've opened it, and sure enough, I've damaged nothing, because I did things the way I was supposed to do them. And honestly, thank you so much for this, World Money Wins. This is going to have to go into my little big box of goodies that I get sent from members of the community, and it looks like there's an actual letter to go along with this. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say. And it looks like we've got something here. I feel like it might be a poker coin. It sure is. I felt like it wasn't. It felt thick. It felt like a thick boy, but it didn't feel metal. It didn't sound like metal, and it's actually a poker coin. So how cool! We got this in the Bullion Exchanges flip, which you can't go wrong there. Bullion Exchanges got some great prices. I know our good friend STG likes to shop there quite a bit because that's kind of in his neck of the woods over there on the East Coast. So Bullion Exchanges, good store. Let's go ahead and check out this item that did not come from Bullion Exchanges, but it's an exclusive poker chip for our very own World Money Wins. And I in fact do not have a poker chip. I do not have a poker chip for myself, but I do not have a World Money Wins poker chip. Do not know if this is the only one he's made, but all I can say is it's very, very nice. We got the skull with the swords there. Expect to self-rescue. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm gonna have to think about that one deeply. Expect to self-rescue. I think honestly you should expect to self-rescue, because truthfully nobody's gonna rescue you. Honestly, that's something that you start to really understand as time goes on. Nobody's out there to rescue you, so you're going to have to have the expectation of self-rescuing yourself. So World Money Wins right here, stake to the dollar in true WM fashion. WMW fashion. Okay, very, very cool logo. I like it a lot, actually. Let's try to get some closer details. We got a skull-like specimen here with the stake. And what is that? Is that a pyramid of coins? What is this thing here? So I'm just gonna have to clarify, what is this thing in his hand here? Looks like a pyramid of coins floating like bubbles. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and solidify that as until somebody tells me what it is. And we got classic Benji right there. So really nice poker chip right there. And check this out, dude. We've got multiples on the stickers. There's literally no variances here. This one seems to have a little bit more of a graying like, but I think that might have been from the printing, truthfully, because most of the other ones, all the other ones are black, but this one seems a little bit exclusive here. I don't think it was intentionally done to be a little bit more grayscale, but this one's certainly got a grayscale one. So I'll call this the WMW Type 2 sticker. And look at these dark ones here. These are all going to be Type 1s. I don't know. This one seems a little grayscale as well, slightly. So I don't know if this is going to be a Type 1.5 or a Type 2, or is it? Maybe it is just a Type 1. Maybe they're all Type 1s. I think this is a Type 2. I'm going to go ahead and, even though he probably only has a Type 1, I'm going to just go ahead and invent a Type 2 right there. Keep that for my deep stack. Now I've got 3 duplicates plus 1. I'm definitely going to put on my, let me make sure none of these are numbered. None of these are numbered. This is not an exclusive Type 2 or something. It could be, actually. It could be a printing error there. So what I'm going to do here is I've got 3 extra duplicates of this dark scale one, so I'm going to put this right on the sticker board, and holy shiznit, we're running out of space here. Where the hell am I going to put this? You know what I'm going to have to do? Sorry, Raven Ivy, but you have multiple spots over here, and so you're actually going to be going right next to PMG, Silver Truffles, JK Pioneer, and Don't Ask also is over here. Actually, Don't Ask has a, he's got a magnet here as well, which I'm just going to shift down to then make room for World Money Wins. And Spokane Silver Stacker has a freaking, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done here, and boom, we got World Money Wins now represented on the board. We're going to have to take a picture of that to show his placement and show that on the thumbnail perhaps, but take a look at this. Let's go and put Raven somewhere back there. Where is Raven anyways? Okay, that was my Raven impression. So here we got 3 duplicates here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the duplicates. One is going in the deep stack with the grayscale Type 2, and then 2 I've got, maybe if I really feel like there's really somebody that needs to know badly about World Money Wins, I'll keep these on the side to potentially spread into the community. And this is mine and only mine. So these are all going into my deep stack. I got a box of items that were given to me. Positivity and optimism, World Money Wins. I don't even know what else he said, but you better believe positivity and optimism. That's the way forward, my friends. And at the end of the day, you have to just be positive about the fact that you're going to have to self-rescue yourself. That's something you're going to have to look at as a positive thing, not a negative thing. Just because others are not there for you doesn't mean that you can't be there for yourself. So let's go ahead and see what World Money Wins. We're doing this in the opposite direction. We're taking a long time to go through this. We're giving him the time that he deserves, but we're also doing things in the opposite direction. Cordialness says we don't look at gifts first and we read the the thoughtful message first. But oopsie daisies, I messed up. So right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna very selfishly now read this beautiful message. I can only imagine it's beautiful. Let's take a read. What's up, SBS? That is beautiful. That really made my day right there. What's up? So what's up, SBS? Thanks a ton for all the sweet deals on the shiny. Go find some cool art bars for me to buy. Positivity and optimism. World money wins. Well, I shall maybe try to do that. I don't know if I'm going to do that, to be honest. Here's the thing, my friend. We all have our stacking strategies. I know you know that we have our stacking strategies. You love the art bars, and that's where I feel like I come up short when it comes down to World Money Wins. I feel like I can give him deals, but I just can't give him the deals on the things he needs because there's a misalignment in the things that we truly love stacking for the deep stack. Now, when it comes down to it, I know there's some things that he likes. The price has got to be right, and so I can't always give the right price, at least for him, or for anyone for that matter, but I do my best to try to give the right prices for the items that I at least do have in stock. So while I may not have a nice huge selection ever of beautiful art bars to go buy, maybe I will learn more and more about them as time goes on. Keep an eye out for things like that. And hey, stacks are always evolving. We're always kind of changing up our stacking strategy, and you never know. Maybe I'll just become an art bar fiend by the end of my stacking career. So we don't know. Hopefully there will be some art bars in your future that I can certainly provide you at a great cost for. Otherwise, the hunt is on, my friend. Continue the hunt. And I was just telling my wife today, the hunt is only getting more rigorous nowadays. The more and more people, imagine one new person finds out about vintage art bars. Okay, cool. Or vintage common angle art bars, or vintage rare angle art bars, or vintage rare Johnson Matthey rounds. Okay, whatever the case may be, one person or 10 people, or let's say 100 new people get into this hobby, and each of them want 1 to 100 pieces. Imagine what happens then. So that's just food for thought. The hunt is on, but the hunt is only getting more difficult. Or maybe the hunt will get easier as time goes on. As more and more people exit this market, the trend ends and people move on to something else. Anyways, hope you had a great time watching this unboxing by our good friend World Money Wins, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Oh, and if you haven't had a chance to yet, be sure to check out our social media landing page at solo.to/silverbarstacker. There you can find our direct website link, which is silverbarstacker.com, as well as our links to our other social media channels, such as this very YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok page, our Twitter page, and we also have the link to our Whatnot page, which is where we actually run our live auctions and actually also have all of these same SBS drops that we hold. We run those same drops on our Whatnot store, and we also have live auctions happening literally all the time. So the way that you can be notified about those auctions is to be following us there on whatnot.com/user/silverbarstacker. And we hope to see you there, folks. Thank you, and have a great day.